Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite chess journal YouTube channel. Today we are going to look into a couple of games played by the players Alexei Shirov and Judit Polgar. And before we look into the games, let me tell you guys, I hope all of you already know about these players. The strongest female chess player Judit Polgar and uh, Alexei Shirov is one of the super GMs out there. And one thing to be noted about both of them is that these players are uh, well known, especially for their attacking, aggressive style of play or tactical play, should I say. So we are going to look into a couple of games played by these players, both of them, and both of these games, uh, player in the white camp was Judit Polgar, and black was Alexei Shirov. And what's more common is that both of the games played by Shirov was in modern defense, which most of you guys who are watching this channel, this video, are fond of playing modern defense or Peart's defense, Peg defense, whatever it is, King's Indian defense. So I believe we are gonna learn as we see these games, Masters games. So let's dive in. Let me keep the engine on. Look engine analysis as we review the game. Okay. In the first game, notice the rating. Judit Polgar had 2675. Alexei Shirov had 2690. Okay. So the game started with e4 by Polgar. Shirov played g6, and that's the modern defense line we are going to dive into, but we're going to see, and computer, as you can see, doesn't like modern defense at all. Keep an eye on the eval bar as well. d4. Now, in modern defense, after g6, we unshadow our dark square bishop. That's what Shirov did. Nice c3, developing, and white is still doing better. And c6. Okay, we are in move number 3. After knight f3, instead of d5, d6, and black is gonna be cramped for a while. Then, as the game progresses, black is gonna have a good time. This is what happens in most of the cases for modern defense, Peg defense, and King's Indian defense setup. Okay, bishop to g5. Although computer says to put the bishop on here, e3 square, there is a reason behind it, and we're gonna look into that. Now queen comes out. Queen b6 played by Shirov. That was attacking that pawn. Now that's been guarded by the rook. And now Shirov pinned the knight. Now bishop goes back. Remember, we talked about it. Why bishop should have gone there, because it wasn't doing much here. Not gonna take the pawn anyway. So playing there could have been better move. So Shirov captures the knight. That's the best move, as you can see. Now pawn takes. Why pawn takes? Why not queen takes? Because if queen takes this bishop, then this pawn is loose. That could be picked up with our dark square bishop. Okay, so pawn takes, and now knight is developed here. Modern defense is an easy setup, I must say. I'm gonna come up with modern defense opening repertoire for you guys as well. So stick to my channel. Those of you who are watching this game and new to this channel, I've already published a couple of variations with the periods or park defense. Few more variations are about to come, and after that, I'm gonna analyze, or I'm gonna do the modern defense opening for you guys as well, so you can have these two openings. They are very much a good weapon against e4, so you can have them in your repertoire when you play with black pieces against white's e4 push. Now, Judit played queen d2. The purpose of this move is, again, this is quite common in modern Park and King's Indian setup, is to create this battery, get rid of these strong dark square bishop. Queen c7. Queen came home. Came here. It wasn't doing much. This push could have been an uncomfortable push. So Judit Polgar played b4. Judit is a very aggressive player, and Shirov as well. So both of these tactical players, they're gonna in these games though. Shirov plays more of like positional style, and we're gonna see them as the game continues. Knight f6, h4, and trying to open the lines in the king side. Okay, computer doesn't like it. Computer says to push here, attack on the queen side. So Shirov has both the options open to go long or short. Let's see where he goes. After h4, he castles short. Okay, Polgar played bishop d3. Better move still was here. Anyway, by the way, as far as computers analysis is concerned, I remembered one of the statements made by Judit Polgar in an interview when she was asked about computer analysis and playing against the computer. She said that chess is 30 to 40% is a psychological battle, and when you play against the computer or look the computer analysis, that's what is missing. So yeah, she's very much right. So we are, for the sake of analysis, we are still looking for computer moves, because computers, what they does, they have got their database and finding the best moves. That's the reason why we look into the computer moves. But anyway, psychological battle, she was very right, I must agree. Okay. Then as here, Polgar is gonna open the king side. So what Shirov needs to do, he needs to open lines against the king is in the middle, so here or here. So Shirov played e5, and taking, as you can see, as computer says, is the best move, but Polgar played knight e2, and Shirov pushed this pawn. Although taking here, his computer is still recommending, but Shirov is saying that no, I'm gonna open as many lines as possible. See, I said at the beginning of this game that both of the players are very much known for their aggressive play or tactical play. So these games are really beautiful, and we're gonna learn a lot. Okay, h5, trying to open, and then knight takes h5, and the exchange sacrifice. Beautiful, beautiful. And excuse me. It has to be taken. So g takes h5. Then bishop to h7. Notice that Judit actually waited for this move. We often we play this move in the during the game, but as you can see here, when the lines are open, then playing this move definitely comes with a lot of benefits for the side that is playing this move. Here, in this case, white. Anyway, so captures in the center, ed4, and Judit played knight to g3. So computer says going here was the better move. Anyway, now Shirov centralized his knight and king to e2. Perhaps she wants to get her rook here and start action. So Shirov needs to do something, and he played here because this bishop needs to be defended. How are we going to defend with our queen? So first the sacrifice of the pawn, and then pawns taken, and then now Shirov did an excellent job returning the exchange back. So we have just learned that when your opponent decides to sacrifice an exchange or sacrifice material for the sake of initiative, oftentimes it's better to return the sacrifice or return the exchange for the sake of equalizing. So now, as you can see, the eval bar, black is doing better. So pawn takes rook, rook to e8, setting up a discovery against the king. So king went there. I must also say that if king goes there, then that's not a good thing, because black is gonna have a fantastic game when they capture this pawn, putting a lot of pressure here, and probably one day could dive here and give checkmate blow. So yeah, king goes to f1. Now knight takes the bishop. Queen g5, sacrificing another material, not looking to grab this knight, rather diving in for action and finish the blow. But still, this bishop is being guarded by our queen. So what is the threat? The threat is actually, if you look on this pawn is gonna come here and start a lot of nuisance. So Shirov played knight to e5, and once the pawn is pushed, now we need to attack this queen, and that's what Shirov did, attacking that queen. So queen had taken our h1. Now rook to e5, again attacking the queen and letting go this knight. So the knight was captured, and we now take the bishop. So we are material up. So what Judit played, queen g3, check, king to f8. Now here at this point in time, Polgar doesn't have enough firepower, and she has got a lot of materials down and a lot of pawns down, I must say. And so which is the reason why Polgar wants to, I believe she wanted to draw the game. Her only advantage or only strong point is this pawn here, but that's not a big deal. So she played here b5, now c b5, now giving a queen check here, queen by playing queen a3, king goes forward, king x7, now queen to h3. Okay, so Shirov take this pawn, and the reason why the queen was there to come here, give check, looking for perpetual. So king takes the pawn, and again another check. Now king comes back to f7, again another check. King goes to the g8 square, again queen d8 check, looking for perpetuals, but not there we stop the perpetual by playing bishop to f8. Now rook to b3, Queen c1 check. Now it's Shirov time. King g2, rook g5 check, and well, what else? Nothing actually. The only best move is to give up the queen. So this is the reason why Polgar resigned the game. So that was a fantastic game, wasn't it? Okay, now let's take a look on the second game. Here, take a look on the rating first. Shirov has now 2705 and Polgar has 2630. So the game started again in similar fashion, similar move in identical way. And after c6, knight f3. And by the way, these variation of modern defense, it's got a name and it's called the two knights variation, subtles variation. So remember that two knights variation, and subtles variation. Okay. Now again bishop g5 and again queen b6 was played, putting here pressure. Again rook b1 being played by Polgar. Okay, now here again bishop g4 played by Shirov. Again Polgar played bishop e3. So and again capture happened and queen c7. And again h4. So up until this point the moves are similar, except that now Shirov plays e6. He says, okay, I'm not gonna put this knight here, stop your push, but rather go ahead. So he played e6. Now h5. Polgar said, okay, show me what you've got. And now d5, played by Shirov. He's playing more aggressively here. Now Polgar said, I'm gonna see what you've got, and knight to d7 played by Shirov, and Polgar pushed b4. Now knight g f6. Now attacking this pawn, and now Polgar pushed the pawn further up. Now bishop is attacked, so bishop went to its regional square f8, and now Polgar chased our queen. So what does Shirov do? He simply came back with his queen to her original square, queen d8. Okay, bishop d3. Computer says that's inaccuracy. Better move was playing here, opening line against the queen side. Just like previous game, computer is telling to open lines here. Anyway, bishop d3 and bishop e7. Bishop wasn't doing much here, so bishop e7, but computer is saying that no, playing here could have been better. Anyway, Shirov played here and knight e2. Now Shirov castled, and well, it might look dangerous on the surface, but king is pretty much safe. Only weak square is here. If the queen can land here one day, then that's gonna be game over. Excuse me, guys. I'm very sorry. If the queen lands here one day, that's gonna be game over, or one of the major pieces could land here and put a lot of discomfort in our camp. So Shirov needs to keep that in mind always. So we are in move number 16. Now move number 17. C3 was being played, and B5, trying to lock the queen side. Now king goes there to F1. That's okay. Let's turn the engine on. Yeah, that's the best move. And now A5. Now A3. This knight comes here, and rook e1. Best move could have been here. I'm really sorry, guys. I've got that cold. Yeah, I got better, but it came back again. Been suffering from cold for a lot of days already. Although I've tested COVID, and luckily or fortunately, I came out negative. And yeah, I don't know. I've got a bad cold for it's been more than a week already. Okay, so rook e1. Now knight comes back here. We're gonna see a lot of maneuvering with the knights by Shirov. And this is one thing that I learned, that in this kind of cramped situation, when you've got knights still on board, use them, because knights have the power to jump in the weak squares and create discomfort in your opponent's camp. So try to utilize your knights in as as optimally as you can, and not to mention that Pierce, Perk, or Modern, or even King's Indian kind of setups, you'll see that maneuvering knights and coming up with more attacking plan is going to give you a beautiful victory. So that's what Shirov does after bishop. After bishop to e5, then knight to d6. See, the knight was here, then came here, now here, and Polgar played bishop g7, attacking the rook, and Shirov first attack the queen. Although computer is telling that this knight should have gone there anyway. So Shirov played here, queen needs to go back. Now rook is being saved here. Although computer, yeah, that's right. Okay, now e5. Okay, what's the best move? Yeah, that's the best move. Now taking here is the best move by Shirov. Takes. Now Shirov has open line for his rook, and he utilized that by going there. Rook a2. Queen comes to f4. That's not the best move. Best move was here. Queen comes here, and now even that's not the best move played by Shirov. Best move was to go here, attack the queen. Okay, so that move was attacking the bishop. Now bishop goes back to b1 square. Now knight jumps to a4. Look at these knights, they are very strong. Now king goes to g2. Now knight a to b2, and queen comes to g4, and that's an inaccuracy. What's the plan for Polgar? Polgar's plan is to somehow put the queen in here, but that's gonna take a lot of tempi. So she's got only one plan, and she's working on that. And Shirov's plan is to simply create as much chaos as possible, starting from the queen side. So first he did this knight a3, although computer is telling best move was to play queen d7. Anyway, Shirov is Shirov. Knight a3. Now knight f4. See, Polgar is sticking to her own idea. Now knight's taken. Knight took bishop. Rook took knight. Now knight jumps to d3 square, trying to get rid of that knight. Okay, knights are gone. All the knights are gone now. Now this pawn is weak. but Polgar says, go ahead, grab the pawn. And that's the blunder. As you can see, double question mark, that's the blunder. This pawn was crucial. Polgar, I don't know why she missed it. Anyway, so Shirov took the pawn, and Polgar dived into the 7th rank with her rook. Okay, position, if you see the eval bar, black is now doing better. So black has again targeted these pawns, and rooks are doubled, and now position is equal. So first Shirov took one of the pawns, and that's again a blunder. Instead, see, rooks are doubled already, so one of them should come here and attack this weak pawn. So now Shirov beautifully converts this by playing c5. Okay, now rook takes bishop, again giving up the exchange. Here queen takes the rook, bishop to f6, attacking the queen. Queen goes to c7, rook a6. What is the purpose of that move? Rook a6, can you guys spot it? Yes, rook wants to, I don't know. What is the purpose of that move? If you guys can know it, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so first, because these pawn can be now taken, so rook takes d4, and queen was attacked. Queen goes to g5, and now Shirov wants to get rid of her rook. Now rook comes here, and rook a8, coming all the way back to the original square, because Shirov sees the tactic that Judit may had in her mind. So what is the tactic? We're gonna see it here. This is the tactic, okay? Rook c6, amazing. Okay, what is the purpose of that move? Trying to get rid of the queen. From where? Queen is patrolling this rank, right? So Polgar wants that Shirov to capture this rook. So let's see on the board. Not that one. If takes this rook, then bishop's gonna come here, because why is that? Because queen needs to come this square, right? Are you guys with me? Okay, let's go back and double check again. So Polgar wants queen first queen to evacuate this rank. Why? Because this queen, her queen, wants to come to this square to give this ultimate blow. But to come here, she needs to make sure that the queen is not patrolling this rank, because for example, if she plays here, queen is gonna capture the bishop. So what can deflect? We call it deflection. What can deflect by sacrificing the rook? So Shirov saw that, he didn't take the rook. So what if he takes the rook? Then bishop comes here, blocking queen's or making way for queen's mobility to this square, f6 square, and as well as making king's life difficult to escape through this route. So queen comes here and gives a checkmate. So that is the tactic. Okay, so instead Shirov played queen to a7. Now bishop to d8, and that's the inaccuracy. And what Judit missed is that queen is still patrolling this square, and Shirov has this move. That's what he played, f6. Now bishop takes f6, and now there is not enough, nothing can be done by Judith because one of these pawns are gonna be queening, and she doesn't have enough firepower or threat to checkmate the king, which was her primary objective. So what was tried? Queen to g4, and then now Shirov played here, queen to f7, making sure that this pawn is not a gunner. What was tried? Queen to d4, rook e to c8, trying to get rid of the queen. Now queens are gone. Rooks. The rooks are gone. Now rook to b8, and we are gonna push this pawn up. So this is where, as you can see, Judit is a lot of pawns down, also an exchange down. We've got rook, they've got bishop, and that's the reason why she resigned. So let me know, guys, how do you like these couple of games that I have shown you, that I've just shown you. And those of you who haven't subscribed this channel, please subscribe. And we're gonna review lot more interesting games played by masters in the coming days, hopefully. Till the next time, take care of yourself. Bye bye.